Good morning, Duncan.
Morning, Gabby. Morning, Laura.
Morning,
okay?
Morning. Yeah, we're all right. What do you think? Are you kind of wanting to be a bit more cautious, or are you with
I'm
Noel?
like old school. It's just that, last season against Real Madrid, everybody was, both to the final, and even in the last minute of the second game, people thought, oh, we're through, and we just collapsed. I don't say we're going to collapse against Bayern Munich, but I just keep the feet on the ground, and I believe you were comparing the 99 team to the City team today. They won the treble. We haven't won anything this season, so I think we just need to keep our feet on the ground. Last night, it was amazing, but the beginning of the second half, they came out of the blocks, and for me, there was only one team going to score, and it was them. But luckily, we managed to stem that off and went on to win it. So I just think we just need to be a bit more calm.
Do you look at it as well as, you look at the 2 games against Real Madrid where you lost in the Champions League on aggregate? Do you look at that as a warning for this season? If you get through Bayern Munich and Real Madrid beat Chelsea, you play each other again, you can be the better team, can't you? But you can lose these ties against experienced teams like Real Madrid. Well,
they seem to do it year in and year out, don't they, Gabby? You know what I mean? They've just got a mentality where they keep playing and playing, which we do sometimes. But yeah, that is an ideal warning. If we get through the second leg against Bayern Munich, play Real Madrid again in the semi-final, obviously attacking options were a little bit better now. And I think defensively, he seems to have shown it up a little bit, and he's playing with a settled side. He's not swapping and changing like he has done and making silly little tweaks here and there that backfired against Chelsea in the final. I still never understand why he did that. But yeah, I think you're right there, Gabby.
All right then, mate. Thank you so much for your call, Duncan. Take care. See you later. Duncan, the Manchester City fan there, being a bit more cautious. You're right to do that, guys.
Maybe, yes, you've got to be cautious, because, yes, Manchester City are the best team in Europe. They're outstanding, they're in the treble, but Real Madrid are no mugs. Chelsea have shown in previous seasons they're not the best team in Europe, but have won the Champions League. Napoli are a good side as well. If they play them in the final, that could go either way as well. So, yeah, be cautious. But if Pep doesn't make any silly changes, doesn't drop Rodri and don't play the defensive midfielder and tries to complicate it, I think that City side will have enough for anybody.
Okay, we're going to take another call, actually. Paul is a Manchester City fan. Hello, Paul.
Good morning, Paul.
Hi, guys, you okay?
Yeah, we're good.
I can see his message here. Let's spoil Arsenal's party. Why?
Go for it, Paul.
Do you know what? I think it'd do them a favour. If they were to win it, it'll be a bit of a Leicester, flash in the pan. If they were to come second and consolidate and recruit well, because we need somebody to challenge us. We've seen off United, we've seen off Liverpool, we've seen off Chelsea.
Yeah.
Thank God we did sell Zinchenko and Jesus to Arsenal, because we'd be 14 points clear.
Is there anyone else you would give Arsenal in the summer?
Pardon?
Is there any other players you'd like to give Arsenal in the summer to help them next season as well?
Cancelo.
Oh dear. Yeah, all right then. Thank you very much for that. Rele is a City fan. Hello, Rele.
Good morning, Rele.
Hello.
Hey, Gabby, you all right? Yeah, I was just telling one of you guys there that I think with the treble, I don't really want to think about that too much, because I think we've got 15 finals. Every game is a must-win game. And obviously, we've been there before. I don't want to downplay Arsenal. Arsenal have done really well this season, but I think the difference between us and them is we've been there and we've done it. The Champions League is the one that I think Haaland and majority of the squad still want to win. So I can see us not prioritising any game more than the other, but in the Champions League, as you can tell, we're not conceding goals like we did last year. Last year, we were conceding goals left, right and centre, which is the reason why we eventually got knocked out. Whereas this year, if you notice, we're keeping a lot more clean sheets.
Yes.
It's a lot better. Obviously, Diaz is playing, that's what it is. Diaz and Stones. When they play together, we rarely concede, if we're being completely honest. So that's my opinion. I don't know what you think.
No, I think you're spot on there. And you look at Aki, at left back for me, he's such a standout player because you're probably conceding more goals in maybe a Cancelo at left back because he's so good going forward but not as good defensively. But now, that back four with Stones coming to midfield as well, he just looks so comfortable at keeping clean sheets. And yeah, I think this is City's year. I really do. And yes, you got to keep your feet on the table, but I don't know. I just feel that City will have enough to go through this season unbeaten now and win everything.
I mean, if they're keeping their feet on the
Yeah,
table,
under the table.
they're really relaxed, aren't they? Maybe on the ground.
Feet on the ground.
That's
You know what I
the best
mean?
place for them. I did. I did. Ben is an Arsenal fan. I wonder where he's keeping his feet this morning. Hello, Ben.
Hi there, you all right?
Good morning, Ben. Are they on the table, the feet? Or?
Gabby and Laura. Great show as always.
Thank you, Ben. Ben, we're taking a bit of a battering this morning from different fan bases all over the place. How do you feel as an Arsenal fan?
It's tough to listen to the...
Oh, no.
Oh,
Come
no.
on, Ben.
The one Arsenal fan loses
Come
signal.
on, Ben, I need you. Don't leave me here
I've
on
tried
my
to be
own.
positive, but
Hey, start
maybe
again, Ben, start again. We lost you. Tell me from the beginning.
Sorry, I know we've taken a battering. I know that it's tough to listen to. I've tried to be as optimistic as I possibly can, but watching Man City over the last few weeks and knowing Man City and knowing Pep and knowing the side for the last few years, it's so tough to be as optimistic as an Arsenal fan. I think I was sitting there watching the game last night and listening to Noel Gallagher. It's probably the first time I'll compare myself saying something to Noel Gallagher, and definitely the last. But they seem like they're in trophy mode, and I think they hit the same form last season. Everyone thought that Liverpool could run away with it. They were in exceptional form. I think they were 10 points clear at one point, Liverpool last year, and I think we're just seeing the same process, the same ability of City, the depth of the squad. They seem very shored up at the back. Stones is performing like the best centre-half in the world. I don't think that's actually too rash of a statement to make anymore.
No.
It's just it's tough, really tough to watch.
It's funny, Ben.
Really
it's like
Arsenal,
it's like they hit the turbo button, don't they? At this kind of point in the last few seasons that we've seen, which was always. I remember people saying at maybe halfway through the season, even before that, like, do you think they're going to win? And I'd be like, I just would not put any kind of money on it at the moment because I'm so scared of what City will do at this stage of the season. And it's kind of exactly what we think. Gabby said something to me this morning. Just tell Ben about your mathematics.
Yeah, I'll have to get this confirmed by management. But if Arsenal draw against Manchester City, draw against Newcastle, win the rest of their games, they win the Premier League.
Yeah, that's correct.
Could you go into the Man
Ben.
City game feeling maybe you change your tactics a bit? Can Arteta do that? Do you put Jorginho in there with Xhaka and Partey, mix it up and try and play for a draw, and then know you can draw against Newcastle?
But that's the issue, isn't it? That's the inexperience and look, no bad words of Mikel Arteta. I think he's a genius for what he's done and obviously learned from the very best. But City have been there, they've done it, they've been in these situations. None of these Arsenal players, bar Jesus, Zinchenko, obviously for obvious reasons, it does have that cup final feel, and I think so did Sunday in a way. And if you asked me at the start of the season, you're going to draw at Anfield and you're going to leave the game as if the world has ended and the title is over and nothing ever good is going to happen in football again, I would have laughed, I would have called you an idiot and said, look, this is just ridiculous.
I think as well, Ben, a lot of people who don't like Arsenal will say it's a failure if you don't win the league, but it's not. You know, like you said, start of the season, all the pundits were saying Arsenal get top four, it's an outstanding season. And look at this season. So even if you do come second, it's a respectable season.
Yeah,
you have to have perspective on where you've been and where we've come. I think it's just you're playing against a super team. In my opinion, the best team that England have seen in my lifetime for sure. A lot of United fans will hate me for saying that, but I don't really care. So. Yeah, tough time, but
all right,
yeah,
Ben.
great start.
Thank you very much for your call. Gary Neville said something along the lines of if they finish top four, then Mikel Arteta might as well leave the job, right? Because he can't achieve anything more. Yeah. That's their ceiling. So there you go. It just gives you an example of how much
it's like
they
you said,
are.
though, Lord, Arsenal need to go get in the summer with transfers. Declan Rice, go and get him. 100%. Make a statement like...
Let's hear from Gary. Gary is also an Arsenal fan. Hello, Gary.
Good morning, Gary.
Morning, you all right?
Morning. Welcome to the show. What would you like to say?
I don't see why everyone's so down on us winning the league. Like, I can't see why it's not wholly possible for it to happen. I think we've got a massive game against City, and we've showed when we played them this season that we played really well against them, and I wouldn't say we've been unlucky because you've got to put the ball in the back of the net, but I feel like confident that we could beat City. And not being funny, but the Etihad's not like Anfield, it's not like Old Trafford. I think we stick to our game. We play the way we know we can play, attacking football. There's no reason why we couldn't get a result against them and go on and win the league. We've only got it's in our hands. It's all in our hands. City can win 8-0 for every game that they play, but as long as we don't lose to them, it's in our hands to win the league, I think.
Gary, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary.
Filled me with a bit more optimism this morning. Honestly, my mood this morning is up and down, left and right, all sorts. Thank you very much for all your calls in that section. If you want to get your calls in before the end of the show, 03717 22 3344.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.